Coming to you live this week from all over the state of Georgia. I'm your host, Kelly Boshton, and if you think you're a normal person, welcome to the Normal Person Podcast.
Some people act like normal's a four-letter word, but most of us want to be normal. To sit and talk for a bit about it, whatever it is. Are you okay today to press play? Is there any other way to be normal?
This week, we're taking a break from our usual format to bring you another exciting installment of our Wildcard special episodes. A once every now and then special arrangement of normal people's responses to very random and spontaneous wildcard questions. Now, if you're new to the show, or even if it's been a while since you last listened, I want you to mentally prepare yourself for a true mixed bag of topics unlike anything we've ever seen. From zombie survival tips and how to properly communicate with dolphins, to deciding the theme song of your life and what celebrity you'd want to be stuck on an island with. This particular wildcard special is everything I've ever wanted this show to be. A showcase of the best our common humanity has to offer. Speaking of common humanity, I want to thank you, the listener, for tuning in week after week to support this show. These particular special episodes are always a joy to put together in the editing bay, but it always reminds me that there's just so much more we have in common than what divides us at the end of the day. And if you're listening, you probably have already picked that up by now. And now, to kick off this week's special wildcard episode with a bang, I'd like to reintroduce Kat, our vegan and anti-factory farming friend from episode 13, who truly drew the best and worst possible wildcard question ever. Here's what she had to say.
And music
cool.
in general,
Yeah.
Okay, well, we usually end these interviews with a wildcard question. Do you want to participate?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I always ask because a preface to this is I don't know what you're going to draw. This is all generated by ChatGPT.
Okay.
So
We'll see if the robots have mercy on me.
Yes, I don't know what's going to happen here. Cool.
Okay, it says, what would you choose as your weapon in a zombie apocalypse?
This is so complete opposite of your personality too. So let's hear it.
Okay, so I'm going to assume zombies are not sentient.
Yes.
It's completely
These
ethical
are these
to
are
fight
Walking
back.
Dead zombies.
Yes, they don't feel pain or
Yes.
whatever. We just need to
This
wipe
is
them out.
not, what was that movie that came out? Warm Bodies. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where the zombies started getting feelings for the girl. It's not that.
It's not that.
Yeah. Their brains are dead.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That said, I don't know a lot about like the biology of zombies. Like I don't know what would take them out the fastest, you know?
I'm assuming they're brains.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I need to like maybe puncture the brain or
Yeah.
something. I guess like some kind of spear, so I don't have to
Spear?
do it so close. I could
Yeah.
like throw it like a javelin. Basically.
Yeah. Oh, a javelin. Okay.
That's where we're going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So javelins.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
Yeah.
And from a distance.
Yes. My coordination's not great, so
But if you have a lot of them, it doesn't matter.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Well, that's a fantastic answer. You didn't say machine guns. Very ethical choice too. It's like a hand-on-hand combat. You know?
No.
Not ethical. No.
Well, maybe it. I mean, if there's again, the premise.
The
being,
ethics are thrown out the window with
Yeah.
zombies. I'm like, that opens a whole new set of questions.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think actually, I've thought about this before, but like if there were a zombie apocalypse, I think there would be people that would, and I'm not saying there's like anything wrong with this, it would be a natural response that people would be like, we're not killing them.
Yeah.
Because they're alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if we had the ability to tame them, I think you would be a part of that movement, right? Sounds like
We could tame them as long as we weren't exploiting them, you know.
Yes,
I
yes,
still
yes.
might feel weird about that.
Yeah. It would be
So-
weird if they were used as labor or something.
Yeah.
But if we could tame them and they could just like, I don't know, they're just whatever. They're
Yeah.
just existing, you know?
Yeah.
That's the movement we would get behind. But if not, javelins, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Well, it's great having you on. Anything you want to say at all before we cut?
Okay, while we're on the topic of animal and zombie rights, I think it's only appropriate to transition to another animal-loving normal person that you actually have never met before. We're about to listen to a wildcard response from a normal person by the name of Danielle, who was part of the recording session for last week's episode, What's One Thing That No Longer Exists That You Wish Still Existed? Her answer, as amazing as it was in the interview, just didn't fit the nostalgic vibes that episode brought. That being said, her response to this particular wildcard question was one of my favorite conversations of that day. And I knew even while recording that I had to share this somehow in some way. So without further ado, I'd like you to meet Danielle.
One thing I was going to ask you, if you wanted to do a wildcard question, that's
Yeah,
usually
I'll
how I
do.
interview.
Yeah, give me a wild card. My curiosity is too high to not do it.
Okay. These are all like ChatGPT generated.
Okay.
So I don't know what you're going to get, but I found that it's the best way to end these interviews.
Okay, so imagine you're a superhero with an unusual power. What's your name and power? I'm totally talking to animals. I am having some conversations. What would my name be?
The Carolina parakeet.
The Carolina parakeet. You are so right. Yeah, I would be the Carolina parakeet. I'd be chatting to all the birds, all the lizards,
Yeah.
everybody, the cockroaches. I'd be like, "What's up? What do you like? What's going on in your life?" You know, I want to know.
Have you ever thought, though, with that ability, how much stress that would bring upon your
That
life?
is a big, that could be quite heavy.
Because the
That could
animals,
be
all of a
really
sudden, when they
heavy.
realize that they can communicate, they're like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Yeah, they're like, "Oh my God, finally."
We've been trying.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What would be the first animal with the power you would talk
Oh,
to?
I would be talking to dolphins.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I would be chatting to dolphins. I'd be like, "So, are you doing these things for fun? Like, what?" The part of their brain that has to do with emotional intelligence is larger than ours.
Yeah.
So their family bonding is so strong. I would want to know.
Don't they get high pretty frequently, too?
Off pufferfish.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So I would want to know about their family dynamics. Do they have drama in their family?
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, what do you like doing in your everyday life? You know, I would want to just have a regular conversation like
First
we're
stop.
having with a dolphin.
Do you think you'd ever come back? Once you, let's just say
Once
you
I could chat with
assimilated into, as a anthropologist, but not for humans, for dolphins, whatever that is.
Probably. I love people, so I probably would. I would come back to chat. I'd be like, "Hey, this is what's up."
Yeah.
I just chat to that fish in that pond over there, and he doesn't like that you're chucking rocks at him. You know?
That'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah,
that
I
is
would-
the superhero that we deserve, is
Yeah.
someone that can communicate with animals. Because I'm like, that's a bridge that
Yeah.
needs to be connected. Maybe one
Yeah.
day they'll have a technology.
Oh, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. I really hope in my lifetime we can, but at the same time, that might be quite heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I
So.
would do it. I would be scared,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
for the animals that I've owned.
Yeah.
And it even sounds bad to say ownership, implying that they don't have sentience, you know?
Yeah.
But my cats,
Oh, they totally do. You're getting to know the personality of your cat. You know that's completely different than from someone else's cat.
Yeah.
They've got a favorite spot they like to nap. They've got a food they don't really like to eat.
Right.
They've
No,
got
they
their
do, yeah.
own. Scientists don't like to personify animals, but I'm secretly not so secretly of the opinion we should maybe
no,
a
we
little
should.
bit.
We
Yeah.
should. It would help. I think a lot more people
Yeah.
would go vegan.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's been a pleasure talking
Yeah, it
to
was
you.
so nice to
Anything
chat
at
to
all
you.
you want to say before we cut?
Fish are cool, man. Fish are really cool. We get to go look at some pictures of some fish. If you can go scuba diving, go do that. Use less plastic,
Yeah.
please, for the fish.
How do you feel about saltwater tanks?
If you've got the money for it, it depends on the fish. If you've got good water parameters, it really depends on the
Okay.
fish. Some are good with an aquarium. Some I
Yeah,
would say no, that they need more space.
Yeah.
It
It was more from the
Yeah.
saving the oceans. I always thought
Oh,
if
and,
enough people
okay.
could preserve it, and then the oceans went back to normal, then you know what I mean. But
Gosh,
that's a deeper
yeah.
conversation.
Yo.
Yeah. Well, it was nice. Next
It
time.
was so
Next
nice
time we'll do
chatting
that.
to you.
Okay. The more I think about it, the more I feel like I'm in the mindset that talking to animals might actually make me feel very bad as a human being. But that's an entirely different podcast and conversation. So, to change gears just a little bit, I want to bring back a few of our college-age friends from episode 12, who were kind enough to sit down and open up to me about what they thought the biggest issue currently facing their generation actually was. Luckily, this group of 3 freshman dorm mates pulled a pretty amazing wildcard question at the end of their interview, and it still makes me laugh every single time I listen to it. Check it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So
cool.
whoever wants to draw it out, all 3 of y'all will answer the same question.
Let's do it.
This one right here, man. You ready? You want to read it out? All right. If you had to be handcuffed to one person for a month, who would you choose?
For a month? Jesus Christ, ChatGPT. One of them was like, what happens when you die? And I had to delete that one.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, that one's a little...
Been handcuffed for a month. Who would you choose? You want the real answer? I say like
My ex.
Oh, yeah? Work through some stuff? Yeah.
Really? It had to be my ex.
Okay.
I can't name drop no other girls, so I'm just
One
safe saying
person.
that.
Who would you
Like,
choose?
For a month.
Ever?
And this is like
A
anybody
month,
in like life.
1
For
month.
like a month. Ever. Jesus.
Well, I'm tripping. That's a bad answer.
Nah, it's no bad answers,
Nah,
but
just
Nah,
like-
but
I'm
she don't
choosing,
like the same
like-
food I like. So if I want to go to Chick-fil-A, we're gonna have to go everywhere. She gonna want to eat something else.
That's going to be it. Well, I don't want to put logic around this, but let's just say you're in charge.
Oh, 100. Well, anybody can be handcuffed to me. I would say okay.
better you be handcuffed to me.
Drake.
Okay.
You said Drake?
Drake.
Drake.
Like Drizzy Drake?
Drake.
Drake.
Cause really rich individual. The ladies are gonna glaze us. It's just good for my myself on the end.
Dennis at that rate.
Drake and Duke Dennis.
Okay.
I say Lauren London. I say Lauren London, man.
Dang it, I'm tripping.
Give me a month with my celebrity crush, and you know what I mean. Like, why not? Shoot, I mean, like months just learning her and just learning new things, like a new lifestyle. That's probably it. But I'd probably choose somebody that's like more wiser, but at the same time, handcuffed to a guy to me just doesn't sound my taking. So I'm gonna choose Lauren London.
It's a good strategy.
You see what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I
like,
take mine back.
mindset wise,
I
I'll
wasn't
choose a
thinking.
guy. But if you're saying like handcuff, like he's like in the shower, I'm like this type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, you would have to.
You see what I'm
you'd have to
saying?
take turns,
So-
You edit my answer out.
I'm not in there. So
Do you have one? Jesus. Okay.
that's a good one.
That's that's
That's a good one.
That trumped all of the answers. They were
Yeah.
thinking low. You were thinking all the way up there.
a good
Okay.
one.
I loved all that. Well, thank you all and you for jumping in the middle of it as well.
100%.
I've had a lot of fun listening and editing this week's episode. But, like everything in life, all good things must come to an end. And this week, I wanted to end our 3rd ever Wildcard special on a very wholesome and interesting conversation from our friends Will and Betty back in episode 13. You might remember Will, who shared his love for electrical engineering and Tesla, but his partner, Betty, wasn't included in the final cut of the interview for that week. That being said, her and Will's response to the wildcard question was one for the books. And I couldn't think of a better way to send off this week's amazingly special wildcard episode.
And I always offer this. You can say no and walk away. I don't know. That sounds like cash cab. But you don't have to do the wildcard question. But if you do, it could end up in our compilation episode. So
Okay.
do you want to do a wildcard?
Yeah, sure.
All right. It applies to both of you.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Let's hear it.
Okay. So, if your life was a sitcom, what would the theme song be?
Okay. What the hell? ChatGPT.
Life as a sitcom.
Could I take the theme song from another sitcom?
Oh yeah. There's no rules with a wildcard question.
Okay, I know my answer.
Well, let's hear it.
The theme song to It's Always Sunny.
So would you have like a cold open that has like the like card that they use? You know what I'm talking about? The title
Yes.
card.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I like that answer.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What about you?
That's a hard one. I guess going along with electricity, I'd have to pick Back in Black by AC/DC.
Yeah. Of course. And the whole show would be about. It's kind of like a young Sheldon where you're like discovering that you're an electrical engineer.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
you kind of like you start a vlog where you're like, I don't know. I'm just trying to pitch some ideas here.
No, they're good. They're good.
Yeah. But AC/DC as the theme song, and it's like, I can already imagine the intro graphics where it's like electricity. And then like in the theme song, you explain the difference between AC and DC. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Well, anyways, it's been a pleasure having both of you on. Is there anything that you want to say at all before we cut?
All I could say is watch the Normal Person podcast with Kelly here. He's amazing.
Listen on
yeah.
Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Keep watching.
Have you all listened to it before?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is your platform of choice?
Spotify, because I paid too much money for it.
Yeah. And sometimes I pulled up the YouTube videos or Facebook.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll just like sit there and like pop it open, sit on my couch and just listen to it. And
Awesome. I love to hear that. Yeah. It's always interesting because I don't pay enough money to my RSS, which is where you put your podcast. I don't know where people are listening.
Oh.
Yeah. I know how many listeners I have, but I just don't know.
And that's a wrap for this week's third ever special Wildcard episode of the Normal Person podcast. If you enjoyed today's wild ride, be sure to subscribe or follow the show wherever you're listening and tell as many normal people as you can about the show. A special thanks to all the guests who helped make this week's episode possible, and for you, the listener, for tuning in for this fun, non-typical format of an episode. Remember to always stay curious and celebrate the wonderfully wild, normal people who breathe the same air that you do, and might have the same wildcard response that you do as well. Till next time, I'm Kelly Boston. We'll see you next week.